This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news: the government continuing to enforce new protocols as it relates to reports of alleged contamination of some public buildings here on the island of Grand Bahama. Now, in the wake of contamination reports of some facilities in New Providence, there is a call for inclusion among all stakeholders when it comes to addressing this controversial issue. John Davis Roll has our top story.
There's a call for transparency as the government moves to introduce new protocols at all government buildings in the country. This appeal coming after government officials confirm that environmental health officers, along with other relevant agencies, have been actively addressing the issue of mold contamination on Grand Bahama. In a recent interview with Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darvall, he says the health of workers is paramount.
I'm very concerned about anyone who is exposed to any form of chemical, anything that be life-threatening, anything as it relates to their health issues. It's very concerning. The government is concerned about it as well. The government do not want individuals to be in a building that can affect their health. But what we are learning is because of the moisture, because of the way how the air conditioning system is a closed-loop system, they are susceptible for mold. And we are now more, well, let's put it this way, our antennas are up.
Minister Darvall outlined the goal of the government moving forward.
The tenet of this building: customs, immigration, education, and foreign affairs. We rent from the NIB department, and they move very swiftly to address this issue. I am very pleased with the response. They have been here. We have had the public analysts come in and look, and going forward, the protocol will be put into this building for preventative maintenance. And I want to say it again, preventative maintenance is the key.
Union officials say while they welcome this new thrust by the government, following a meeting with the Minister of Labor and National Insurance, the Honorable Shane Gibson, there still lies a bone of contention. Labor activist and member of the General Workers Union, Doyle Russell, is calling for inclusion.
Here in this building, our umbrella union represents more than 3/4 of the workers here, yet we have not been offered or given that report. He did say, well, we will form a committee. But if you're going to try a apartheid system, I believe it is only important, it's very important, that members of that tripart system, which includes the CBTUC, should be given an opportunity to sit.
Joan Davis Rowe, ZNS Network News.
In other news, Lyndon Lee Johnson, aged 22 years, of number 166 Bentley Drive, Caravel Beach, appeared before Magistrate Debbie Ferguson in the Magistrate Court this afternoon. He was arraigned on an armed robbery charge and was not required to enter a plea. A preliminary inquiry will commence on Thursday, July 16th. He was remanded to Her Majesty's Prison until trial. Switching gears now, a community in the South hosting and spearheading a new initiative, and it is all designed to encourage budding artisans to use their talent to build the economy. Italia Hall fills us in.
It was an evening of arts, craft, and Bohemian culture. The Church of the Good Shepherd hosted their first arts and craft exhibition, giving artisans the opportunity to showcase their uniquely made Bohemian items. The Minister for Grand Bahama, Dr. Michael Darvall, was a part of the event, and he says he's proud to see residents coming together to foster entrepreneurial opportunities.
I'm truly delighted to have been invited to this event, which provides an avenue for budding artisans to showcase their talents and their gifts, not only at this place, but throughout Grand Bahama. Ladies and gentlemen, last year was declared the Year of Culture by our nation's leader, the Honorable Perry Gladstone Christie. And since then, this administration has demonstrated its commitment to unwavering support of Bahamian culture throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and in particular on the island of Grand Bahama.
MP for Central Grand Bahama, Nico Grant, delivering the opening remarks, and he says that he's inspired by the level of creativity displayed by the artisans, and he encouraged them to continue chasing their dreams.
It is quite evident that the artisans showcase this afternoon how that passion, the one vital element which transcends into each and every single piece we have seen created. I'm truly amazed at the level of creativity and talent that exists in the Bahamas.
Organizers were pleased at the amount of participants, and artisans expressed their gratitude for being given the chance to express their talents.
The purpose of the event is to encourage persons who are artistic to have somewhere to display their work and to know that they can actually sell them and make a living.
We are always willing and anxious to showcase Bohemian art, something that we're proud of.
It's for sharing, and I think whenever there is an invitation and opportunity to showcase my work, I'm usually very positive about it.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Well, in just over 2 weeks, May 7th through 9th, Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival will hit the streets of New Providence. During the event, the winner of the Music Masters competition will be announced and awarded $20,000. 10 songs have made it to the finals. Among the finalists is a song written and performed by a Grand Bohemian. If you're a Grand Bohemian, chances are you've seen Georgina Ward Rigby perform around the island at different venues. But it was her star-studded performance at the Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival on Taino Beach that advanced her to the finals. Georgina was the first to wow the crowd on Saturday, and she says she had no choice but to give it her all. Hearing her name announced as one of the top 10, she says was an undescribable feeling.
Listen, I wanted to just jump out of my skin. I was so excited. Oh man, I just knew that a next door was about to open. Oh man, it's just so exciting. Exciting. It's pure excitement.
The young singer and songwriter recalls when she was first asked to enter the competition.
In the beginning, I really didn't even know about it. My producer, Patrick Boston, he called me. He said, would you be willing to enter a song competition? And I said, well, sure. But I said, what is it all about? He said, it's a carnival thing, government is doing, and the price is $20,000. I said, okay, yeah. So that's how we gave it a shot. We entered one song, and here I am today.
Georgina wrote the song In the Carnival, a song that made a great impression on the judges. But it's the reaction from people throughout the country that has left her in awe.
I have not received one single negative remark. It is just, I am so humbled. People who I don't know, people stop me. It's like I'm instant celebrity or something. People stop me and they said, Miss, you did such an excellent job. Family, friends, everybody, I'm so proud of you. It is just a phenomenal feeling. I'm enjoying this. I'm soaking this in. I'm emotional.
Georgina says this has given her, as well as other talented Bohemian artists, a grand opportunity. But there are those who still have not been sold on Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival.
Just give it a chance. Give it a chance. Let's see how it pans out. Know that I am one of many who really appreciate what's going on. This has given me a chance. A lot of people don't know who I am, and I'm an unknown. And lately, a lot of people, they recognize that you have talent and they appreciate you for your Bohemian talent, raw Bohemian talent. And I just want them to take it easy for a second, sit back and see what it can do for us economically. I want our music, our Bohemian music, to go global. See where this could take us. It only takes a spark.
Well, as we said, all eyes will be on the nation's capital next weekend as Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival takes place. Sabrina Brown tells us that Grand Bahama will be in the mix and is focused on putting on a good show.
The countdown is on to the Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival in the nation's capital, and the Grand Bahama Cultural Carnival Company is buzzing with activity as local artisans work around the clock to complete costumes for the big showdown.
We're excited. We're ready for road fever. The Grand Bahama Cultural Carnival Company, we're preparing our costumes. We're getting all of our Junkanooers together. All of our supporters have been calling. They want to know how are they able to hit the streets with us next week.
Now, for those of you who may not be able to afford a full costume, Hannah says no problem. You will still be able to jump in the line.
We're letting people know you do not need a full costume to be with us at Road Fever. You can buy just your headpiece, your armbands, your leg bands. I'm happy to announce we've just created a t-shirt section of our carnival company, and so if you want to hit the road with us, if you want to march with us, you can wear your Grand Life t-shirt with your shorts, your
shirts, your tank top, whatever you want. You can just come in, get your t-shirts. It's all about representing Grand Bahama.
Hannah says the decision was made to give all Bahamians the opportunity to experience the Junkanoo Carnival fever.
So every day, May 7th through 9th, there's something happening in New Providence. Junkanoo Carnival kickoff. It's 3 days of non-stop events. And so you want to put in for that vacation time, you want to take those days that you have accumulated, take them off, come to Junkanoo Carnival, join the Grand Bahama Cultural Carnival Company. It'll be worth it.
She says Grand Bahama will be well represented.
We are going 200 strong, and we have supporters in New Providence who are waiting for us. I must say we've gotten so much love out of Nassau and the other family islands. We've gotten calls. People want to know, where can I get your costumes? Where can I get your t-shirts?
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Nice, Sabrina. Well, stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, will continue in just a moment.
News that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. There is growing concern tonight about the level of bullying taking place among the youth, and a local institution recently wrapped up a week-long campaign to bring greater focus to this serious issue. Joan Davis-Roll has this report.
It is a clarion call being made at institutions throughout the country. Don't be a bully, be a buddy. School officials are attempting to reach the masses with a positive message, a message they hope will resonate with countless youngsters who at some time in their life have or will encounter a form of bullying. Webster's dictionary defines bullying as a person who is habitually cruel to others that are weaker. A recent rally was held at the school promoting this theme. Principal of Walter Parker Primary School, Jacqueline Pinder.
It's gone to an extreme where people are actually losing their lives. And here at Walter Parker, we take this very seriously. In fact, we have named Walter Parker a bully-free zone. We have zero tolerance for bullying. We want to, in this week, we have developed strategies and plans to assist our children, show them the way to handle conflict and resolution. Students need to know that love is a greater emotion than hate, and they can overcome a lot of negative things that have been said to them and done to them by love.
School guidance counselor Marsha Alon says the school was compelled to lead this anti-bullying initiative, and overall their efforts have been successful.
Schools, we have a lot of kids not knowing how to treat each other. They push a lot and they like to fight. So we're just trying to encourage them to not display those behaviors and to be a friend to their classmates and all of their schoolmates.
Guest speaker for the event was youth pastor of the School of the Prophetic Ministry, Pastor Cranston McDonald. Bullying, he says, is a serious issue for some. It has also the potential to result in suicide. He recalled a recent incident where a young man wanted to take his own life.
The guy literally wanted to kill himself. I mean, he just was going through so much, and nobody was hearing him and nobody was listening. And the thing is, guess what? He isn't popular. People are talking about him. People are pulling, throwing stuff at him, telling him, you're ugly. You're this, you're that. And right now these kids need to know that somebody loved them. Not to hold it in. Tell somebody. Because the more you hold it in, the more bitter you are going to get. You don't want to be bitter. You want to be better. So what's going to happen now is they're going to hear, tell somebody, tell a parent, find a teacher, find a principal, and let them know what is going on.
Hey, let's not be bullies, be buddies.
That anti-bullying message that school officials hope will echo throughout institutions in this country. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Joan Davis-Roll.
Well, this next story exemplifies the saying, honesty is the best policy. It's about a young man who found a huge sum of money. And what did he do? Well, he handed it over to the rightful owner. Italia Hall has this report.
A 14-year-old young man proving that not all is lost for the younger generation. Fabian Lang Jr. was recently at the Grand Bahama shipyard with his aunt and had to wait at the security booth. He says when he got bored, he went for a walk, and that's when he discovered a large sum of money and other items. What he did next, he says, came natural to him.
Whilst I was at the entrance, I started getting bored, so I started to walk around, and I saw a bag with $1,500 with a Nokia's Windows 7 phone and some car keys. So I ran and I gave it into the security, and she said, thanks a lot. She asked me what was in. I said some money, But I didn't know it was $1,500. When I just opened, I just saw some $100 bills. So I gave it in, and that was it. Then later my dad called me and said, Fabian, that was $1,500 you found.
Fabian says shipyard officials commended him and told him that this was an act that most young people or even adults would not have done. He says while young men in the country often get a bad reputation, he does not consider himself a standout. He says these values were instilled in him and will follow him for a lifetime.
My body just moved before I could have think, because my daddy raised me by the golden rule, do on others as you would have them do unto you. So I just took it in before I could think about it.
It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Very special. Mary Star Academy continuing its focus on culture for almost 20 years now. The school has been hosting Home Day, and each year it is rated as a learning experience. Sabrina Brown has this story.
It was a celebration of heritage and culture as the primary division at Mary Star of the Sea Catholic Academy continued a 19-year-old down-home tradition under the theme, My Roots, My Family, My Bahamas.
It was the brainchild of Carla Brown, who's now Carla Brown Roca, and Mrs. Renee Hall, because so many students didn't seem to know a lot about their past. So they decided to do a show and a project where children would research their past and look up their ancestors.
The Wallace Groves Auditorium was transformed into a cultural village with creative displays of family trees which told the stories of many of the primary school students.
Families get involved, the mothers, the fathers, the grandmothers. They share their old recipes, they share what happened to them.
I do not have the braces of the rich and cultivated. Confuses me.
Vice Principal Sue McCrae says the annual event is not only an exhibition of projects, arts and crafts and food items, it is also a learning process.
I think it gives them a foothold in the past, and we know you need to know your past to be able to develop your future. It also gets them to find out about their relatives, which is a good thing for all of us.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Sabrina. Well, for most of us, commemorating a birthday is usually a big celebration. Some of us plan months in advance for the big day, but tonight we will introduce you to a woman who dedicated her special day to others. It was a dancing celebration with the youngest group of seniors you can find. Good food and great company, all in celebration of Queenie Hannah. For her birthday, Hannah hosted 70 seniors of the Urban Renewal Seahorse branch to lunch at a beautiful getaway in Boodle Bay. She says in 2009 she had a serious health scare, and she is just thankful to be alive, and she believes it should be celebrated selflessly.
Because I'm a giving person and I do it from my heart, and God have blessed me. I had rough times and I came through it, so I decided just to share it.
Her friends agree and say they're pleased to celebrate Queenie Hannah's 75th milestone.
Queenie, the first queen of the Bahamas, you couldn't miss it. Good food, good company, and you got Queenie on my hubby.
It also happens to be my birthday today, but I'm keeping it a secret. So you're the only person who knows about it.
Me and the entire Bahamas.
Fabulous.
As a young police officer, on my break period, I used to go to the Harbour Moon restaurant, and Queenie was a dashing waitress back then. I used to tip her even before I order.
How do you feel about celebrating Miss Hannah's birthday?
Oh, very nice, very beautiful, nice. I'm enjoying it to the fullest.
Well, I think it's simply marvelous. It shows a lot of love and care. And we certainly appreciate all her concern for her friends. It isn't every day that people would look around and want to share with friends at this magnitude.
And I can speak of all the educators. We would like to congratulate her on this her special day. She feeds our children and she takes care of our old people. And they are the two most important persons in this Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
She's gotten really into the soul, heart and soul of Grand Bahamas, particularly with the senior citizens that she's a part of, with the urban renewal. And she's even gotten my wife now caught up in it with the urban renewal. She'd be gone for hours on ends and it's just, you know. So I'm happy to be here.
So what is Hannah's secret to looking so good, so young, and so vibrant?
I work and I keep young company like you. And I keep my niece and nephew, and especially my niece Erica. We talk every morning and we share things, and she all has secret with me. And that's why I'm young and with my children. My son Sandy Sawyer, he call his mom every morning and we talk and have a conversation. And he's here today with his little girl, Sophia. I love you, Sandy, Candy, Dave, and Joyanne. That's my 4 children.
Well, there you have it. Give selflessly, keep good friends, communicate with family, and dance like no one's watching. Youngest group of seniors you'll ever find. And now to our nightly feature, Ask the Doctor.
I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. Eronique from Freetown asks, I have patchy areas of flakiness and dry scalp for the past 2 years. Is it just dandruff or is it something else? Because it's getting worse. Thanks for your question, Eronique. It sounds like you are asking about dandruff, which is a very common scalp condition. Dandruff is marked by flaking of the skin on your scalp. Although it is not contagious and is rarely serious, it can be embarrassing and sometimes difficult to treat. Dandruff can be caused by a type of fungus, sebaceous oil or gland secretions, your individual sensitivity to things in your environment, or simply just using too much shampoo. In mild cases, dandruff can be controlled with shampooing your hair daily with an over-the-counter dandruff shampoo. In more serious cases, a doctor may prescribe a medicated shampoo for you. Some homeopathic remedies have also been effective at controlling dandruff, such as applying an olive oil treatment to your scalp. If you're still scratching your head after several weeks of experimenting with over-the-counter dandruff shampoos, or if your scalp becomes red or swollen, see your doctor or dermatologist. You may have another condition that resembles dandruff, such as seborrheic dermatitis, psoriasis, eczema, poor nutrition, or dehydration. These are just a few factors that contribute to poor scalp health. A doctor can examine your scalp, diagnose your condition, and treat you appropriately. Remember, it's important to follow up with your physician if you have any questions about your health. After all, your health is in your hands. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Stay with us to check on sports when we return. Topping sports, swim sensation Joanna Evans is back in the pool training and she will have a busy summer. Her coach was on her this track season for swim success. Here's Ricardo Lightborn with the story.
Bahamas Carifta swim sensation Joanna Evans is back in the pool training after a successful meet in Barbados. Team Bahamas successfully defended their Carifta title, and it's called a team effort. For Carifta High Point winner, she closed out 2014 on a high note, and 2015 she's off to a great start. Carifta assistant coach and Swift coach Andy Lovett says the work has just started for Joanna, and she's now moving to the senior level of swimming.
She's looking at Pan American Games and World Championships this summer, and then the big one in Rio next year. Really next year as a stepping stone into senior swimming, to go and get her feet wet at Olympic level, and then you're looking really at a 4 or 5 year plan at 2020 and then even 2024.
So you've got a calendar.
Yeah, it's not a short term goal. Definitely Rio is just to get her feet wet at that Olympic level, and then get herself used to the world stage, and then see what she can do down the road.
And just how does Joanna feel about her Carifta career and moving to the next level? She says, no problem.
I must admit I did have quite a great year last year, and so I've been back to practice, and a lot of the kids tried hard to make it because it was my last year, and so that's another little motivator to try and do well my last year.
Joanna will graduate from the Bishop Michael Lullen High School, and she's headed to Texas at the college in August.
Well, baseball tournament play from the weekend in Abaco. The Grand Bahama Nationals defeated the South Abaco Rebels 7-2. DeAndre Harvey with 2 hits and 3 RBIs. The Grand Bahama Nationals defeated North Abaco Sluggers 6-4. Donovan McKee got the win. Vernon Johnson the loss. North Abaco defeated South Abaco Young Rebels 9-7. Sammy Innocent with 3 hits and 3 RBIs. In the final game, the Grand Bahama Nationals shut out North Abaco 11-zip. O'Neal Pritchard struck out 12 batters, and at the plate, 3 hits hits and 4 RBIs, the loss to Kefron Wright. And that's a check on sports.